Go like this. Go like this. Go like this. Now go like this. Thank you. Oh, I made my heart nice and big. No, but seriously, go like this for a minute. And what I want you to do is I want you to cross your left hand and arm over your right, like so. Actually, you know what? Like this with your thumbs facing down. So make sure your thumbs are facing down. Keep your fingers interlocked like so. So make sure your arm is down like that. Very good. And on 3, do this. 1, 2, 3. And go like this. Thank you. Now, here's the time where I go and consult the PowerPoint. There's no PowerPoint in today. Or we look at the notes to see where I am. There are no notes today. So what I ask for you today is be here, be with me. If there's going to be, we're filming this. If you want a copy of this today, we're going to give you a copy for free. Just grab one of my cards at the end. If there's going to be real pertinent points, I'm going to look at you and say, hey, this is one of those moments, make a note of it. But otherwise, I want you to experience something here today. I want you to be in it. So hands up if you work with addictions. Hands up if you don't work with addictions, but you'd like to work with addictions. All right, fair enough. So I'm going to probably lose a lot of money by saying this, but oftentimes people are scared by working with addictions. Like, oh my God, it's such a big problem. Can't work with the heroin, can't work with the crystal meth, can't work with the cocaine. Oh, it's all big scary. It's no different from every other problem that I work with. Now, here's usually the bit where the presenter tells you how great they are. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to give you experiences and share stories, and there'll be like a little Q&A at the end. But I want to have a real talk with you about how I work with people. It's not something that I got from a little book that I read that should work. Because when I first trained as a hypnotist, I was told that this technique works 100% of the time for everyone. That's just bullshit. Anyone that tries to tell you that stuff is just talking out of their butt. So my stuff comes today from someone who's been doing this for 26 years. This has been their only job for 26 years. And when I really started to learn was when the stuff I was told and was sold, hey, come in, take a seat, Ruth, wherever you want, that should work 100% of the time. When it didn't work, that's when I started to get pretty good at this. So oftentimes, when I was trained as a hypnotist, I was told, stay away from all the big, scary problems, stay away from trauma and the serious addictions. Work with cigarettes. You can make a lovely living helping people quit smoking. And I did that for 10 years and I got really good at it, but then I got bored. So then, like a fireman, I started to run towards the fire because I wanted to deal with sexy problems, scary problems, problems that most other people would be like, don't feel that I'm equipped to it. And what would happen is on my website, I never advertised working with addictions or cocaine or gambling. It was mostly smoking and weight loss. But then people would reach out to me and they'd be like, oh, can you help me with gambling? Can you help me with heroin? Now, side note, I'm straight edge. I've never smoked, drank, done any drugs in my life. People are usually shocked by that. And we'd be at conferences or we'd be at expos and people would come up to me and the Hypno Pixie would be there as well. Oh shit, I forgot to say something. I should have started the show off with this. Are you ready? Yeah. No, I mean Michigan Hypnosis Conference. Are you ready? Yeah. Yes. There you go. Very good. That's right. But would be at like a convention, an earthy, crunchy convention or a trade show. People would come up to me and start telling me their life stories. And oftentimes they would have a strong addiction. And I asked the Hypno Pixie over there, I said, why does this keep happening? Because I figured I was a hypnotist, so they just figured I was a counselor so they could come and tell me their problems. And she's like, no, they just think you're a drug addict the way that you look. No, she didn't say that. That's right. No, she was like, no, people feel like you're not judging them because of how you look. Side note, I fucking judge everyone all the time. We all do. We can't not judge. The only moment we've got control of, as soon as the judgment comes up, do you want to continue to go down that road or do you want to challenge your own judgment? So when we've got the earthy, crunchy therapist, oh no, unconditional positive regard, I don't judge anyone. Bullshit. You can't stop judgment. It's in the same way that you can't stop a thought. It comes up. When it comes up, you can decide if you want to hold on to it or not. But we all judge all the time. But anyways, I didn't choose the tribe. The tribe? Yeah, I haven't had my coffee this afternoon. chose me. So I got really good with working with these people. I work a lot with cocaine addicts. I work a lot with heroin addicts. I work obviously with smokers, weight loss, people are addicted to the internet, people are addicted to porn, everything. And people are like, oh, addiction, it's scary. Well, everything's an addiction. If someone is having reoccurring thoughts of anxiety, it's an addictive thought because they're hypnotized for the addiction thought of anxiety. If someone's chronically depressed, that's an addiction because they're getting some kind of hit from the depression. It's no different that than would be a heroin addict or an alcoholic. Everything is addiction, but also nothing's addiction. Because the way I look at it is there is no such thing as addiction. It's just a problem that someone has in their mind that's causing them to suffer, and they've labeled addiction on it. It's this big scary thing, but no, it's just a problem. It's no bigger or scarier than the person who has anxiety or has undue sadness in their life or has a little bit of unresolved trauma or some kind of chronic injuries in their back. No problem is bigger or smaller than any other problem. So when I treat stuff like that, it's no longer scary when people come into me like, oh, I'm a heroin addict and that. Now, I know who lives in America here. Who lives in Canada here? Somewhere else? All right, there you go. So I know laws are in America. I love America, by the way. But I know some of your laws are a little bit different than perhaps in Canada and perhaps in England. So I'm not here to give you medical advice on anything. That's called the get out of jail free clause in case I say something a little bit later on. But obviously I'm not here to tell you medically how you should be working with anyone. But in Canada, we can call ourselves a hypnotist, we can call ourselves a hypnotherapist, and how I work. And now, when I first start working with people, how I do it is I have a thing called a screening call. So as soon as I get them on a telephone, I try to not work with them, which is the opposite of how most people try and work, is they're trying to sell you the solution. I try and not sell myself as a solution. So when someone finds me, we have a free screening call for an hour. And my whole job is just to lovingly, with respect, just try and push them away and have them fight for me and the solution to overcoming their problem. Because at that point, they say that nobody wants to be sold, but we all like to buy. So I like to set people up that they want to buy this product in order to help them change, rather than, you should choose me because I'm awesome. By the way, you should, because I'm pretty awesome. But no, you should choose me. No, it's like, well, you've been to other hypnotists, you've been to other therapists, you've been to rehab, you've been to NA. Why do you think I'm going to work with you? And I just shut up, because this is the point where most hypnotists, well, this is how it's going to work differently. We're working with your unconscious or your subconscious mind. We're working with the higher self. I'm like, well, why do you think this is going to work? And I shut up. And this is the hardest thing for me to do, is shut up. And when I shut up, they then start to answer, oh, well, I saw your videos. Or, oh, I saw your website. Or I didn't feel you were judging me. And I tell them, oh, by the way, I did judge you. The same thing I did with you, I do with them. And they always laugh, because it's this honesty. And the way I work with people is I'm not earthy, I'm not crunchy. If they do something well, give them a pat on the back. If they do some dumb ass shit, I tell my clients, some dumb ass shit that you did there, you've just wasted your money. But there's always honesty that's coming from me. And when I ask people, why me, why not someone else? It's like, we watch some of your videos. Who has videos? Yeah, I always have videos. I think I got 1,600 videos. So no one, 1,600 videos, probably more now, on all forms of hypnosis and talks like this, TED Talks, street hypnosis and shows like that. And the reason I have videos is my very first client, she was actually in my top 5. I used to run out of my apartment. I had my girlfriend at the time that lived there as well. So this lady shows up to quit smoking. This is like 25 years ago. And she, as soon as I open the door, she just looks at me and I can see the judgment on her face. She's like, who is this fucker? How's he going to be able to help me? Look at him. He's just, no, I see it going on in her head. We do the work, we finish, and she starts crying. But these are tears of joy. And I said, I know why you're crying. I'm like, as soon as you saw me, like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? How's he going to help me? She's like, I know. I judged you. I'm like, I know. And how are you feeling now? She goes, I don't want to smoke. And she never smoked again. But then I learned, if people see me, if people hear me, and they experience me before they come in, and all my stuff is done over Zoom now, they don't have that shock now. So anyone that comes to see me, they know I'm going to speak really fast. And I know as hypnotists, we're supposed to speak really slow, right? I speak really fast. We're supposed to have love and respect. And I do have love and respect for people, but I'm not earthy and crunchy. I'll swear, I'll break rapport consciously. I'll break conscious rapport, but I'm always in line and have rapport with their unconscious mind. And oftentimes, there's been studies of people that have had accidents, brain injuries, brain trauma. They've lost the ability to talk, but they can swear. Because swearing inside of their mind, there's a primal part of their mind that speaks directly through the amygdala to the reptilian brain. And there's some know, like, and trust. When someone swears, like, oh, and I know that I'm in rapport with a client, not because they're matching and mirroring the way that I move. It's as soon as a client starts swearing, I've got them. They feel comfortable enough to be swearing with me now. And that's as soon as that little bell goes off in my mind, I'm like, oh, work's going to be a lot easier with these people. If I find out a client's gone to rehab, statistically, their odds of being successful after one stint of rehab, I think, drops by 60 to 65%. They're not going to be successful in any form of therapy coming off drugs. So if I hear that someone's gone to rehab, I'm like, I make a choice on the phone, because it's already happened. Can't change it, they've gone to rehab. But I know my effectiveness is now dropped by 65% because they've already done a 30-day program. Although it's very different from me, belief filters have been filled up or not filled up. So it's going to be even harder to do the work. So when I hear that someone hasn't done rehab, I'm like, hallelujah. They're like, what? And I tell them the stat. It's about 65% likelihood that you will not be successful with me or anyone if you've gone to rehab. I'm like, so I'm happy that you chose to be here first, so we avoid that pitfall. The only time, and again, this is a little bit different from America than in Canada and in England, but I will work with anyone over any addiction. Now, if there is a huge physiological pattern there or disease or effect, I should say. So if they're a heroin addict, if they were to stop cold turkey, I'm not going to say stop doing cocaine or heroin. Cocaine, I will stop doing cocaine. I don't know why I'm pointing to you. I know about your habit. It's expensive, isn't it? Right? No.
I can't afford it anymore.
But if it was cocaine, I could tell you, stop fucking doing cocaine. It's dumb, and I would never get arrested for it because you're not going to die by stopping. If it's heroin, you could potentially die. So that would be irresponsible for me to say. So I will not say that. In 26 years of doing this, about 10,000 clients, and a lot of them people that struggle with alcohol. I've never had this type of client, but they exist. The people that consume so much alcohol that if they stopped cold turkey, they could die. I've seen a lot of people, I know it exists. I've never worked with them, but I would never tell my client, stop drinking cold turkey. If it's smoking, stop fucking drinking cold turkey. Overeating, stop fucking eating so much. If it's cocaine, stop doing so much fucking cocaine. And I'll say that to them, and they'll laugh and they'll smile. But they're already used to this because they've seen some of my videos, they've seen the way that I look. There's no shock at this point. Am I suggesting you should all go out there and get 70 tattoos on your skin? No, but you'd all look even more sexier than you do right now. But they see and they experience, and a lot of, and I'm not picking on anyone, everyone's got their style, but if I wasn't a hypnotist, I'd look the same way. This is the way that I look and it's the way that I show up in the world. But oftentimes when I ask clients why me, well, everyone else, Luke, had the suit. They had the tie. They looked very presentable. But then here you are, and you've got these tattoos, and we thought you were a raging alcoholic or drug user or gambler, and it's weird that you do none of these things, or you've never done these things, but it builds that trust with them because like Grant was saying earlier on, oftentimes when they come to see me or us, we're not the first help they've ever had in dealing with their addiction, right? So everyone else they've seen, they look very professional in the suit, in the tie. They were, tell me your story. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. There's all this going on. And they've had that. And that's useful to some people some of the time. And they see me and there's none of that. I'm like, oh, so why do you do this? Why don't you just fucking stop now? And oh, it's going to be straightforward. Not because I want to beat people up, not because I want to give them a hard time, but I know that I need to be the opposite of everyone else they've seen. I've got this quote in life that comes from Eric Bischoff, who used to run World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Anyone heard of WCW? I went, okay. And he's in life, you can be more than, less than, or different than. We all want to be more than, but there's always going to be someone better than you. You don't want to be less than, but I can always own the space of being different than. So that's the space that I own, is to be different than, because I know I can own that against everyone all the time because I'm different and I can always own it. Someone can always be better, someone can always be worse, but I can always be different than. All right, so it's a good space to come from. But yeah, so we do the screening call and I'm looking for red flags straight away. As soon as I start hearing this comes from the trenches. Oh, Luke, you're my last hope. Oh, Luke, I've heard about you. You're great. You're going to make me stop using cocaine. You're going to make me stop using heroin. You're going to make me stop drinking. For my ego, back in the day, I was oh yeah, I'm so magnificent. I'm the one that they're putting their love and trust in. Oh, like Jesus or Buddha or L. Ron Hubbard all rolled into one. That's right. That's right. But when I hear that now, it's a fucking red flag. Because although they're putting their change in my hands, they're also putting their inability to change in my hand. It's my fault if they succeed. It's also my fault if they fail, because I'm the holier than thou, spiritual, amazing figure that's going to change them. And I might let people believe that all the way to the end. If I feel that someone needs to put me on the pedestal in order to get the change, I'll allow them to do it very consciously. But before we're done our last session, before we're finished, I'm like, that amazing change that happened to you, like, yeah, I bet you thought it was me. Oh, Luke, you're magnificent. You're wonderful. Can you say that to the camera, please? Oh, Luke's magnificent. Luke's wonderful. I'm like, you know what that change you made? It had absolutely nothing to do with me. It was you. I just worked like a mentor or a trainer. But in the same way that your trainer can't lose weight for you or build muscle for you, you have to do all the work. You did all the work. You changed you. I was just a guide, and I did a minuscule amount when you were ready to change. So I give them back all of their ownership. So when they leave, it's never about after I've got the video of how great I am, but I give it back to them. So when they leave, oh, it's me. So if I could get off cocaine, maybe I can quit this abusive relationship. Maybe I can start to save money. Maybe I can open up a new business for myself. But it's very important to put all that back in their hands so they're completely responsible for their change. But if you do it too early, well, why am I paying? Because I'm bloody expensive, by the way. It's like, Luke, why am I paying you all this money if I'm doing all the work? So sometimes I have to play with the belief and meet them where they are. Oh no, someone must help me. Someone must fix me. I'll play the game a little bit, but when we're done, everything is where it needs to be. Much like a stage hypnotist will say at the end, all the suggestions I give you are now removed, right? Other than leaving me a good review or paying me more money or hiring me for your next show, right? So then they leave and it's all about them. But even though it's all about them, they'll still tell their friends, I met this guy and he's amazing. He really helped me to see that I needed to change. I needed to make the shift. So it's a win-win, and it's really important. The good thing about addictions as well is, I know sometimes as hypnotists, there's that battle, right? There's that battle of, I really want to help people, but is it right to charge money? If this is your number one career, I know it's not for you. But is it right to charge money? Is it right to charge big money? Because I should be, it's like God's work, it's spiritual work. Why should I be charging money? But for some of us, it's our only job. This is my only job. I could get other jobs, probably make more money, but I don't want to do other stuff. I like doing this shit. So I charge a lot of money. But then when I see a cocaine addict, this blew everything I was charging, it blew it out of the window. And I was like, I was not charging enough. And by the way, every addict lies all of the time. We all lie all of the time. But addicts lie all the fucking time. I can say this because I've worked with about 10,000 of them. And I tell it to them as well. Like, because a lot of addicts will say things like, oh, you're amazing. I can't wait to work with you. Look, I've been waiting on the waiting list. Great for the ego. Red flag starts to drop at that point. I'm like, they're buttering me up. They're trying to bring me as part of the con. Oh, you're so great. You're so amazing. I'm going to tell everyone about you. That can flip as quickly as, you didn't change me. You didn't fix me. You're a con man. It's the opposite side of the coin. So whenever I hear that now, ego's like, this is a potential problem now because it could come back to bite me in the ass at some point. So that's a red flag. But when I will work with them, they've done the screening call. I'm looking for red flags. I'm looking to see if they've done rehab before, if they're on medications as well. I make it very clear I am not a medical doctor, and I'm only here to help you with the emotional aspects, to deal with the mental aspects, to help to clean all of that up. If there is a real physical part to this, you need to be speaking for your doctor. What we should all say, even though we know a lot of it's bullshit and not really going to be helped, we have to say this stuff legally. It's morally the right thing to say. But I'm like, yeah, I'm going to help you clear up this, and your doctor can help you deal with this. So there's no expectations that, oh, I'm going to stop doing this immediately. It's not all this trauma. And all trauma is just a word for the patterns that cause you to keep doing this. When I say trauma, people are scared. Oh, I've got no trauma. Or look, I've got a lot of trauma. Everyone's got trauma. It's just trauma can be when you're 5, your best friend called Michael don't want to play with you in the playground anymore. That's trauma to a 5-year-old. To you're in a burglary and an armed assailant comes in your apartment at 3 o'clock in the morning with a machete to your throat. They're traumas. For a little kid, that's a big trauma. His friend not playing with him. For anyone, someone coming into your house with a machete is a trauma. But it's just an unpleasant memory, an unpleasant part of your life that causes you to get emotions and memories get stuck together in a way that's non-supportive of where you are now and keeps you stuck. So red flag if they're being too complimentary. Another thing, a lot of people that I start working with any form of addiction, they're on these Facebook groups, the AA groups. The AA people hate me, by the way. I never said anything bad about AA. The NA people hate me as well. Oh, the 12-step people hate me. I'm like, 12 steps takes way too long. I could just do this really quickly. I'll charge you the same amount of money, although they don't charge you money in AA and NA, but they're still making money. Even though it's a charitable organization, they're making a lot of money every year. If they're in a group like that, whether it be Facebook or somewhere else, I strongly advise, as one of the barriers of working with me, get out of that online group, because they're filled with people that are at effect of their problem. Does everyone know what I mean by effect of that problem? Mm-hmm. It's being done to me. I have no control. I have no responsibility. It's being done to me. Poor me, the victim mindset. And it's just a breeding ground for people. Their secondary gain a lot of the time is a sense of community. People will listen to me. People will understand me, but no one's really changing there. I'd like to set up a self-help group where it's all the alcoholics have been clean for 10 years and are loving their life and don't even think about drinking. Go to that group. That group's friggin' amazing. The NA group of the people that stopped using cocaine for 10 years and their life's been amazing and they've saved tens of thousands of dollars. That's a good group to go to if you're suffering from addiction, but just bitching and complaining and there being effect doesn't help people. It keeps them stuck. I made some videos a while ago, and then the NA people, Narcotics Anonymous, the AA people, Alcoholics Anonymous, the 12-step people are, oh, no, 12 steps is the only way to go. And I'm like, I'm not married to hypnosis, although I got 50 certificates. I'm not married to timeline therapy, although I'm a trainer. I'm not married to HUNA, but I'm a level 3. I'm only married to what works. If I need to get something from a stand-up comic that when I use that line or that routine at this particular time, it's going to penetrate through someone's bullshit, I'm going to use that. If I have to give someone love and tell them they're enough and they're accepted, I'm going to use that. If I need to be harsh with somebody and just cut through all the bullshit and give them direct language, I'm going to do that. I'm not married to any technique. I'm only married to the result of what that person needs. How do I know? I don't always know, but my gut instinct lets me know by the way that they're speaking, the way they answered the questionnaire before they came on the screening call, how quickly they answered questions, what words they hung on, if they're putting me on a pedestal. All of these are clues they're dropping the whole time, that my Columbo-like mind is picking up consciously or unconsciously to get their language to how to communicate with the people. So that's another thing I do with people. And then, well, what's the amazing technique that you do to help people with addiction? It's the same shit that I do with the anxiety or the depression or the person with performance anxiety. It's all the same stuff. No, I could market this and say, this is the amazing 5-day course that gives you that one silver bullet that you need to deal with cocaine addiction or to deal with heroin. But it's all the same stuff I do with people. I just put it into their language on how they work. I used to always be very adaptive with what I do. And it's important to be adaptive, but especially with doing stage hypnosis. Well, maybe I'll do a drop-down technique induction on this one, and maybe a handshake. now I've got a way of working, and it works for everyone. And if it doesn't, I've got the adaptability of making shifts or changes, but I don't deliberately make too many shifts or changes in what I'm doing, because what I'm doing works, and it's been working pretty well. It didn't work so well to begin with, to be honest. A lot of people flamed out early on. Nobody died, or nobody that I'm aware of. If they died, I probably wouldn't know, right? Because they wouldn't be upset with me. But and I say this, people are like, "Are people going to be offended by the language you use and stuff?" No, because people unconsciously I'm coming from a place that I want to help you. I'll use some colorful language. I'll use violent metaphors. I'll do whatever I need in order to wake someone up out of this matrix that they're a part of right now. Is it because I'm special? No, although my mum and girlfriend would say different. It's because I learned this stuff in the same way. People are like, "Luke, were you born with a gift?" No. It's just like you go to school to be a lawyer, an accountant, a mechanic. I just learned this stuff because I was fascinated with working with it. So, unfortunately, all addicts are liars. Most of them will put you on a pedestal. Red flag should drop off, drop down. If they're on Facebook groups, get them off those groups. And if they've had rehab or other therapies, their chances of being successful with any therapy going forward drops drastically. I think after one rehab, 65% less likely to ever come off the drug. If they've gone to 2 rehabs, I think their likelihood of staying clean now drops to 10% on any therapy. That's not the exact number, but the stats are out there. And if it's free rehabs, forget about it. Back to charging and having that conflict with charging. Had a client and he was lying. Like, how much do you spend on cocaine a year? 100 grand. And remember, he's lying. And he's like, "Oh, and I pay another 100 grand for my wife as well." So 200 grand on cocaine. He's lying. So it's probably $250,000 to maybe $500,000. So I said to him, "So if I could just help you to be clean for 1 year, and I charged you, I don't know, $190,000, I'd be worth it, right? Because you'd still have $10,000 in the bank." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess so." So I'm not going to charge you that much. But then whatever I said, compared to the 200 grand they were spending, I was going to be cheap. Same with cigarettes. I always find out, how much do you spend on cigarettes? So a pack a day is $20, $25 in the States. Works out to be about $3,500 a year. So all I need to do is be cheaper than that. So I know that they're going to get sticker shock when I tell them how much I am. So I'm building up a case like a good lawyer. So this is how much you're spending on cigarettes. This is how long you've been smoking. If you don't get it fixed today, this is how much it's going to charge you. So in their head, it's literally hundreds of grand that they've spent on cigarettes so far. So as long as I'm less than that, I'm cheap. And the sticker shock of how expensive I'm going to be to their mind before is no longer there. Because what's the first question a client will ask you before they work with you? How much you're going to be? I'm like, well, that's a great question, but I have no bloody idea. And it's true, because I don't know if it's going to be 1 session, 2 sessions, 3. I don't know how long you've had this issue. I don't know if you've had other therapies before. I have absolutely no idea if I can help you. So the best thing for us to do is just have a chat for an hour. It's called a screening call, so I can find out more about you. If I can help you, I'll give you an opportunity to work with me. And if I can't help you, I'm not going to take your money, because I'm bloody expensive and I'm not going to waste my time.
What do you consider bloody expensive?
For me, I charge $2.5 grand for 3 sessions. If it's 1 session, it's $1,000. So I don't work with anyone for less than $1,000. If it's 3, oftentimes people will buy 3, but they'll only do 2. And I'll check up with you. All right. I'm good. I don't need the other session. Can I leave it in the bank for another day? Full disclosure, not everyone all of the time, and not everyone will respond to emails. Sometimes people just drop off. Not like drop off, but they just drop off because they don't respond to the messages. But yeah, I don't work for less than $1,000 an hour now. And one of my guys who'd gone to rehab 3 times, should have been a red flag not to work with him, but he's doing all right, actually. He's one of the cases it's going well for. His mother-in-law, who was well-to-do, she would send him to these Beverly Hills rehab centers that for 30 days was 100 grand a pop. 100 grand, 3 times. You know what the first thing he did when he finished? Day number 30 comes out, scores. Immediately. It's not his money. He's playing with house money. He doesn't care if he doesn't finish. I'm like, so So like, why do you think I'm going to be any different? And I just shut up and I see what they say. Oh, well, I saw these videos and hypnosis and blah, blah, blah. And I let them build up the story of why this is going to be successful. If they're like, oh, I don't know, why don't you tell me? Red flag. They're not where they need to be. That needs to be dealt with, that attitude, before you even get into the addiction. The attitude of, no, you sell me. I'm going to anti-sell you. I'm going to lovingly do this in the hopes that you will fight back with your words because you want to own this and you want to shift. But I ain't never going to tell you I'm the greatest in the world. My video should have already done that. My TED Talk should have already done that. My little email chain should have already done that. This should already be done. They should already know. If people haven't watched 3 to 5 of my videos before we have a screening call, I end the call and I'm like, oh, Luke, yeah, I'm speaking to 10 hypnotists right now. I'm like, great. So you know what? Awesome. I respect that you want to be diligent with this. Where am I in the line of 10 hypnotists? Oh, you're number 5. So I'll tell you what, go and do the other 9, and then we'll do this call at the end. And if you find someone before us, beautiful. Because I don't want to waste my time. And I don't want to compete with anyone. I want to work with people I want to work with Daryl. I know there might be other people that does what he does, but I like him and he's great. I want to work with him. I want to hire Grant. There's lots of stage hypnotists here, but I like him. I like his debonair attitude. I like the way he dresses. I like the accent. Whatever it is. But yeah, there's all this other noise, but I want to work with him. I want to work with you. That's the people that I want. So then I'm never competing with anyone because less than, more than, different than. I'm going to be different. No one's ever going to compare to me. Not because I'm amazing or great, although the hypnopixie will say, that's really great. But because I own that space, I'm going to be different. How I see most people dress or how most people do hypnosis or stage, I don't want to be like them. I want to do it my way because my way works for me. My audience is me. I'm doing everything for me to heal something inside me up. It's there to entertain, to perform for me. But by doing that, I'm also helping the other people, the inner child and all those other people, those mirror neurons that we hear about all of the time. And then how I'll typically work with people is, and this is what I want to give you today. I don't want to give you to the A to the Z, because with enough presence, with enough charisma, with enough personality, you can almost get anything to work with the right person. But what I want to give to you today is frames. That when you utilize these frames in your own language with your own beliefs, they tend to help. One of my frames is this. When I work with someone, I'll just do it like this. I'll be like, hey, I want to offer you 3 invitations. And I just find that when people accept these invitations, our work becomes a lot more successful. Are you up for it? Yeah. And I'll say, so invitation number 1. Oh, and by the way, I find that people in addiction are very hypnotizable. Very, very hypnotized. They almost go there too fast, which is also a worry as well, right? The first invitation is this. I want you to be present and engage in this process. Sometimes people mistakenly come to hypnosis thinking it's going to be passive, thinking that you're just going to close your eyes for 55 minutes, you're going to open your eyes, and your problem is going to be gone. And this is exactly how the verbiage that I use with my clients. Like, chance would be a fine thing, wouldn't it? They laugh. I'm like, it ain't like that. Sorry to burst your bubble. This is going to be a very active participant. And what I mean by that, it's the difference between you watching someone on the roller coaster or you being on the roller coaster and experiencing those emotions. It's the difference between watching a movie and being in the movie and experiencing all the emotions. I want you to feel it. I want it to be inside your body as if you're there now. But, oh. So if I ask you to see something, do it to the best of your ability. See it to the best of your ability. If I ask you to hear something, hear it to the best of your ability. And most importantly, if I ask you to feel something, feel it to the best of your ability. But I need you to be active in this process. Great. They'll shake their head. So now they know, hypnosis isn't the magic wand or the pendulum asleep. Oh no, because how I do hypnosis is different. Second invitation, and I always say this, I feel a bit condescending by saying this, so excuse me, but I want you to listen to me. But I want you to hear. And most people listen, but they're just waiting until you stop your sentence so they can run their mouth and talk. I need you to listen to me, but I need you to really hear. And the way I want you to listen to me is in the same way you listen to your favorite relaxing, chill out music. You're not there to do anything, to be anyone. You're just kind of there to have an experience of being there in the moment. So now I've told them, because we think, oh, listening, I know what listening means. Most people have no idea what hearing really is. I'm telling them what my frame of listening and hearing is. The same way that you listen to your chill out music, I've also taken out all the pressure of, oh, you have to put all this stress on yourself to make it work. No, there's no expectation on you. When you're listening to your favorite chill out music, there's no expectation. You're just kind of there in the moment to have an experience. So now that performance anxiety that some clients have, I used to have it. When I would do stop smoking in 1 hour, people would get anxious about stopping smoking. Like, I've only got 1 hour to do this. How's it going to make me stop doing this in 1 hour? There's too much. Now there's no pressure on you. Because I say, here's the thing. If you could have fixed this problem consciously, you would have done it by now, true or false. They're like, yeah. I'm like, so respectfully, with love and respect, I don't give a damn about speaking to your conscious mind. I'm going to speak to your unconscious, your subconscious mind, your monkey mind, your mind body. And it doesn't matter if you're intellectually listening or not, because I'm not speaking to that part of you because they didn't create the problem and they can't heal it. I've taken away all the pressure because you're not fixing it. Your unconscious is. And I'll say the third invitation is this, is everything you know about problem, addiction, hypnotherapy, rehab, and I'll boost up their ego. You're very smart, you're very intelligent. You know a lot about addiction. You know a lot about hypnosis if they've experienced hypnosis before. But everything you know about all of this, put it on a shelf to one side of you. Because if that information could have helped you, you wouldn't be here right now, would you? They're like, you're right. I'm like, and if you need that information at a later date, it's always going to be there for you. But I want you to come at this like a whiteboard. Hey, I prepared this earlier. Come at this like a whiteboard or a whiteboard so you're completely clear. Now, I might tell you some things today you might have heard before. And you might be inside your head, but you'd never say it out so loud because you'd never be rude. Oh, why is he telling me this? I already know this. I paid all this money for him to tell me a bunch of stuff I already know. And I know what's going to happen in people's mind. And I'll say to them, be careful of that voice, because that's your unconscious, your subconscious, your monkey mind, your amygdala closing the door of your unconscious, so I can't throw any suggestions in there. So if inevitably you hear I say something you've heard before, rather than be like, oh, I've heard it, close down, listen to it in a different way. An example of this is, my favorite song is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Anyone know Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls? Yeah, there you go. It's a great song. And it's been my favorite song for 25 years. But a couple of years ago, it came on the radio and it wasn't bringing up the same emotion inside me anymore. I'm like, am I going off of it? Has my taste changed? What's going on here? I'm like, hey, I'm very auditory and I've listened to the words for 25, 27 years. What if I just listen to the melody next time it comes on the radio? Comes on the radio next time and I'm not having the love affair I used to have with it. I remember that agreement that you had, Luke, that you listened to the melody rather than the lyrics. So let's try the experiment. I do a lot of mind experiments with clients. I listened to the melody, and as I listened to the melody, it was like re-experiencing the song for the first time. So I might tell you stuff you've heard, but in the same way that I listened to a song that I heard 25,000 times, I found a way to listen to it differently. I want you to find a way to hear what I'm saying differently today. So even now, if I say something, which inevitably I will, I'm a human being that they've heard before, they're going to store it in a different place. Oh, he's saying what the counselor said to me. Oh yeah, but he said it's different because, oh, I want to line up as many ways for me to win and for them to win this game. And to help them win the game, I've got to stack it up in such a way that irrespective of what their problem is, their meta programs from an NLP standpoint and the software that's running all their motivation is being worked in a conducive way that will help my suggestions and the work that I do go straight into there before we even get into the addiction part of it. Does that make sense? And then what I would do is I'll start to do stage stuff with my clients. Oh, they're a heroin addict and you're doing stage stuff. Isn't this ridiculous? Yes. Isn't it disrespectful? Not really. Like, aren't you just wasting their time? No, because most people think a hypnotist is like him. Somebody who goes on stage and makes this one dance like Madonna, this one sing like Michael Jackson or whoever. This is what most people think. Most people, I call myself a mentalist because they think a mentalist is a hypnotist anyways. Most people think this shit is the same. We know it's differently. We know it's different, but I want to give them a bit of magic, because when I didn't do any phenomenon with clients, they'd come to the end of the session and they would say, the death knell that no hypnotist wants to hear. Oh, I felt really relaxed. Yeah, but do you want to use coke or heroin or over masturbate or gamble now? Oh, I feel really relaxed. That means whatever you threw at them, it didn't hit. So then I started doing some magnetic fingers, book and balloon test, magnetic hands, body sway. Even I do all my stuff online. Why do I do that? So I do it with them. And then after I do it with them, I'm like, do you know why I did this with you? I tie it back to their problem. I didn't do it for shits and giggles because this isn't a performance. But if I can make one finger with my suggestion come towards the other finger just through words, then my words are bringing sobriety to you just through Zoom. Going to be far more effective. And if I can stick your fingers together over Zoom and I'm not even in the same room, maybe we could stick this New Year's resolution to lose weight, this new sobriety in place, because it's just words, it's just a suggestion. And if we can get that stuck fingers into your eyelids and they're stuck, maybe you came here because you were addicted to cocaine, but maybe you had a chronic pain that now you could take that change, generalizing the changes to other areas of their life. So it's not just simply we're doing this for shits and giggles, we're doing it for their belief, because this is what they think hypnosis is. And we're telling them consciously, here's why I'm doing it. If we can do that, and when their eyelids are glued, I'm like, do you see how powerful your mind is? They say, yes. And I say, do you see how powerful hypnosis is going to be for you? And they say, yes. Because that's what they think hypnosis is. So we can take stuff that we take for granted, magnetic fingers, what is this? Stupid, it's dumb. But this is magic. You can milk this. So I will milk it because I want them to get the change that they will want. And I will milk it for whatever their problem is. So when they finish, how was that hypnosis? You went, she stuck my fingers together. He stuck my leg. So that must mean that I don't do coke anymore. When I finish with the phenomenon, I'll do it. I'll be like, and there was no glue, and there was no magnets. It was just words. And I'm not even in the same room as you. And you got this change. Do you see how powerful hypnosis is? Do you see how powerful your mind is? Everything comes to empowering them. Meet them where they are. Oh, this addiction's being done to me. I can't change. Now giving them the power. I'm not giving them the power. I'm helping them to rediscover it through this vehicle called hypnosis. But this is why phenomenon can be so effective. Oh, I just made you forget your name. If I made you forget your name, maybe I can help you to forget your ex that broke your heart. You can tie all these forms of phenomenon in and milk them. Everything you see on a stage show, you can milk it. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean it in a powerful way that can give them powerful hypnosis. Whatever works for you. But I believe I've got ADD. I speak really fast. I get bored really quickly. I've got to be doing this shit fast. If someone's seen me more than 3 sessions, I'm bored of them and I'm pissed off because either I didn't do my job or they didn't do their job. And I always do my job. I always come with a baseball bat and I'm ready. They've just got to come with a catcher's mitt and be ready to play. So those frames, do you want me to go through those frames again, what they are? No? All right, you got them. I will use those frames, those 3 frames for anyone that I'm working with. Magnetic fingers into a finger stick, into an eyelid stick. I do it with everyone all of the time. I will just change the language in for their specific problem to tie it back to why they're there. And then I might give them an auxiliary tool. I'll be like, hey, when you're jonesing for your drug of choice, it might not be appropriate for you to close your eyes at a party and just do self-hypnosis for 15 minutes while there's 100 people around you. But you need emergency mental first aid in the moment. So I might teach them a tapping technique, algorithm. I might teach them some heart breathing, a finger hold, stuff that they can do that no one's going to know. Even if like, well, I don't want people to see me tapping. I'm like, just imagine you're tapping. It still works. So I'll give them some actual stuff that they can deploy in a stressful situation, in a triggered situation that they can still use. Make sense? And then I'll traditionally, a first session, I'll do in just suggestion hypnosis. I'll use whatever you want, get them into hypnosis, and I'll just give them positive suggestions that they won't do their thing anymore. And when they're unconscious accepted it, open your eyes, bring them out. The hypnosis bit at the end is garnish, to be honest. If they've followed all the steps from the phone call up until now, all the work's done. But when I didn't add the garnish in the end, the hypnosis, oh yeah, Luke, that was great, that was amazing, but you didn't hypnotize me. So I'll do the hypnosis, even if it's only 5 minutes. 5 minutes of nonsense, just words, not even regression. But that garnish at the end is like the bookend at the end. It's like, oh yeah, you hypnotized me. The hypnosis was 5 minutes. The other 55 minutes was the search and find mission, was me installing frames into them. But it was important to give them the experience of hypnosis. I also, the way I do, this is not specific for addiction, but it allows me the freedom to work any way that I want. I share this story. You can share your own story. I know what people think hypnosis is, me just talking at them and saying nice, soft things with their eyes closed. But I need to reframe it because I do a lot of shit. How much time we got left? 15 minutes, great. Oh, I forgot to tell you, at the end, there's a huge climax to this at the end today. So stick around to the end. There really is a cool effect at the end I want to share with you, all right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. So the frame is this. We'll start to be working like, hey, we're going to start working together today. And in order for me to explain what we're going to do, I need to share a story with you. May I share a story? Like, yeah. And I'll be like, I don't know if you'll remember this, but when I was 5, my favorite show as a little 5-year-old, when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, was the A-Team. And I used to love Mr. T.
Oh, yeah.
You know Mr. T? Mm-hmm. Does anyone not know Mr. T? So, some people will get younger than me, right? And I'll have to explain, muscular black guy, gold chains, mohawk. Like, he was my gateway into professional wrestling. So a 5-year-old boy watching this in England, this guy was my super. Before Marvel, it was Mr. T for me. And like every Saturday, I used to watch it at 5:15 p.m. appointment viewing. But this one particular Saturday, my nan or my grandmother was looking after me because my mum was a bit busy in hospital giving birth to my little sister. So I'm there, I'm watching the A-Team, and in the commercial break, the second favourite thing I used to do as a 5-year-old, I was a weird kid, is I used to like to do dot to dots. You know where you would join one dot to the next dot and it would reveal a picture. So in a commercial break, I'm doing my dot to dot, I'm getting my fix of Mr. T. And this one particular commercial break, I can't find the next dot. And I'm getting frustrated. And I'm getting annoyed. And I am throwing a tantrum. So I go up to my nan, my grandmother, my most beloved person in the world. I'm like, Nan, I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. Side note, I didn't say annoyed and frustrated. Didn't have the emotional vocabulary as a 5-year-old. But you get the kind of energy I was coming. I'm like, I can't find the next dot. Can you do this for me? And I got the notepad and I threw it on the floor. And I got my pen and I threw it on the floor. And I jumped. And then my nan looked me dead in the eyes and she says, no, Luke, I can't do this for you. Because if I do this for you, you'll never learn. So our work's going to be a bit like this. In the same way that I was looking to make the connections on the dot to dot, I want to help you make the connections in your brain, the connections which will allow you to have the freedom to break this habit, this addiction, this chain of events. Now, I've got many different ways of helping you. One way is sometimes I would just go off on what seemingly seems like tangents and tell you stories. Every story, every word that I say has a meaning. From time to time, I might get to tap appropriate parts of your body to release certain emotions. From time to time, I might get you to touch your fingers in a certain pattern. From time to time, I might look you dead in the eyes and say, you'll stop doing drugs and feel amazing for the rest of your life. From time to time, I might deliberately be a bit provocative and poke around the problem. Some emotion might come up for you, like, why is he making me do that? There's a reason that I do that. From time to time, I might get you to close your eyes and take you on a journey with my soft, beautiful voice. The fact of the matter is, I have no fucking idea how I'm going to work with you. And they laugh at that point, like, because I don't even know you. But even if I saw 10 people back to back that were all called Daryl, that were all addicted to cocaine, I'd have to deal with each of you differently because you each have your own beliefs, your own trauma, which are unique to you as your thumbprint is. So today's session isn't about why you're broken, why you need to be saved, why you need to be fixed. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I just want to know how you work. So today we're going to pull up the hood of the car. I just want to see how you work. I'm going to open up the watch and I want to see how you work. Because once I know how you work, any suggestion I'm going to give you is going to go directly into your unconscious, your subconscious mind, and is not going to be rejected because it's going to be your language. Now, I say that with everyone. Why do I say that? It doesn't matter what the fuck I do now. I can make them close their eyes. I can get them to do tapping, emotional freedom technique. I can do provocative therapy. I can do some direct hypnosis. I can do indirect hypnosis. I can do huna. I can do shamanistic healing. I could just do some straight talking. But whatever I do now is hypnosis because I framed hypnosis to be whatever the hell I want it to be. Because now it's not just, oh, I close my eyes and he speaks soft. Oh, no, hypnosis could be this. Hypnosis could be this. Hypnosis could be in making me a bit angry and challenging me. Oh, it's not because he's being a dick or maybe a little bit, but he's trying to bring up these emotions to help me inside. But now I have the freedom to work any way that I want to work with people. Give me the sign at 5 minutes as well. Thank you. Any questions? Because there's an amazing climax to this at the end. You want to stay to the end. And I ain't going to sell you anything, by the way. I don't know how to sell. But it's an amazing thing. You want to stick around to the end. Anything I've said or rabbited on about for the last 40 minutes, do you have any questions about anything?
So if you do have somebody who's alcohol dependent or heroin,
yes,
you're only going to see them for 3 sessions, but they have to taper off or they could die. What do you do? Or don't you see them?
Good question. That's never happened to me. But if it did, I would make sure that their doctor was on board. And I'd frame it very clearly. I am not a doctor. I'm not here to give you medical advice. I am here to deal with the emotions around it, the mental aspects about it, but whatever, because most people, I never tell a heroin addict, just come off clean, because I get sued and it would be unethical and all of that stuff. So I make sure if it's something serious like that, that their doctor is fully aware and I make it clear. Am I working with everything? Of course. But I use the phrase, I'm just working with your emotions. I'm just working with your beliefs.
I'm working with the stress and the emotions.
Yeah, which we know is most of it, right? It's like, if it's a chair with 3 legs, it's a weird chair. It only has 3 legs. I'm going to deal with the emotions, kick that leg away. That chair is going to start to topple over. I'm going to kick the other leg away. Remember, it's only got 3 legs, right? Which is the beliefs. Now it's only got 1 leg. The doctor can probably pretty much easily deal with that now because we've cleaned up all the other stuff. And every addiction that I've ever come across, and is it Gobble Mate, the addiction worldwide specialist? Yeah, you know, he's been doing this a long time. It's like it always comes down to just some unreleased trauma. That once that's released, it's quite easy. And I think he gives a story of US soldiers coming back from Vietnam that were introduced to heroin by the American forces. They got addicted to heroin, so they would come back, but no one knew what heroin was back in the 60s. No one knew what heroin was, how addictive it was, and there was no rehab centers for it. So these soldiers would come back from Vietnam, seeing all this trauma, all this horribleness, and then they would go back into normal life. And they would forget that they were addicted to it and they wouldn't use it anymore. It wasn't because they weren't told it was an addiction. It's like, oh, I did this thing. Now it's an addiction. It's such a terrible thing. But what they found is when these people left a war zone and were in a safe environment with their family and friends, they didn't need to go to rehab because it didn't exist. Their body, their mind just got reintegrated. I'm safe right now. There's no war that's going to happen. Does that kind of answer your question? Cool. Any more questions? Awesome. If you've got any questions when I'm walking around, grab me up. I'll answer anything about hypnosis. But I promised something to you guys today. Can I borrow you for something lovely? I want to do a card trick because I see you got some cards there. But my card trick doesn't involve real cards. It's imaginary cards. So I'm going to throw you this imaginary card pack and just grab it. Yeah. And if you just open that up for me. And what I want you to do is, as you open it up, I want you to pull out either the black cards or the red cards. What cards do you pull out?
The black.
So take those black cards, throw them over your shoulder. Now what you're left is with the red cards. And you'll notice there are hearts and there are diamonds. There are hearts and there are diamonds. Throw those cards up in the air right now and notice. Now, as those cards are there, are you drawn to the hearts or the diamonds?
Diamond.
And as you allow those diamonds, now those diamonds, allow them now to have like a hue, a red hue on them. And now that red hue turns to fire, and now that fire burns the diamonds. So now it's hearts. So now with the hearts, you've got you've got 3 and 5, or you've got 7 and 9. 3 or 5, 7 or 9, where do you see the red fire-like energy now? On the 3 and the 5, or the 7 and the 9?
7.
The 7 and the 9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want you to let that red hue, that red fire, burn them up. So now you're left with a 3 and a 5. And I want you to choose to hand one of those to me. The 3 of hearts or the 5 of hearts.
Mm-hmm.
What did you hand me?
3 hearts.
So what you're left with,
5 of hearts.
would it amaze you to know that I implanted a suggestion in your mind when we started at the very start today that you, because you bought the cards today, that you would choose the 5 of hearts? Would it surprise you?
No.
Would it surprise any of you if I put that suggestion in his head that he would choose the 5 of hearts? I did. Give me a round of applause. No, but anyone can say that, right? But I made a prediction earlier on today. And what was the card that you had left?
5 of hearts.
5 of hearts. Before we started today, I made a prediction.
Wow.
Can you see that? Thank you. What is it for the audio? 5 of hearts. Thank you. That concludes. Thank you very much. Oh, you got a question? Thank you.
I'm just going to say thank you for saying something that I just love it. And it works for all of us here who have been in many hypnosis trainings, is when I hear an instructor say something and that part of my brain wants to go, "Wah, wah, 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 wah," and I want to just phase out and go, I know this. I've trained instead, and I did this many years ago. I would go, this is when I have to lean in. Something new is coming, something I really need to hear. When my brain starts to blow shit off, because that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've learned to go, look, listen now.
Yeah.
So thank you for reinforcing that.
Thank you. Yeah, feel free to use that. It's a really good
But
piece.
it's good for me to tell my clients too, which I never
Oh,
really
yeah.
thought. Like when I start sounding like Charlie Brown's teacher,
Yeah.
that's when that's when you're going to listen.
Tell them how you want them to listen. And it's not, I make a joke, it's not even being, I know it sounds condescending,
Yeah.
and I don't mean it to. Now it takes that sting out of it, but I want you to,
We should all probably say that when we stand in front of the room to teach.
yeah,
When you start to go,
Especially
"I
here."
know this stuff."
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Cool, thank you very much. Any more questions? All right, well, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Make an appointment, can we go to your website?
Yeah, so on my website, every page it says book a call. And you just click on it and you fill out a questionnaire and then we can have a call.
Okay.
Yeah. But every page has book a call. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right, maybe I'm an idiot, but when did you suggest the 5 of hearts? When did that come?
Yeah.
I heard nothing about
You
that.
heard nothing because I wasn't speaking to you. I was speaking to him.
In a private conversation?
A private conversation that you were all in the same room and it was going on.
We're going to talk.
Yeah.